Hey, this is Ace here with Hillbilly How To's. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get saved. So you hear people say that all the time, I got saved here, I got saved there. So what does that actually mean? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. So I know I'm doing this video very casually, but this is a very serious topic. The Bible is very clear. If you're not born again, you won't make heaven. But first off, what does the actual Bible say about getting saved? So in John 3:7, Jesus told Nicodemus, "You must be born again." In John 3:16, which is the most famous Bible verse probably, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Acts 4:12, we must be saved. There's many other scriptures, that's just a few of them, that talks about this. So first off, how do you actually get saved? So I have a lot of people ask me this question. How do you get saved? How do you know you got it? So first off, how do you get saved? Well, you've got to ask Jesus into your heart. You got to be asked to be forgiven of all your sins. Ask him to come into your heart. Let him know that you're going to change and live for him. Let him know that you believe in him and you're willing to follow him. Now that can be said in many different ways. There's no right way or wrong way to say those things, but that's the gist of it. The most important thing is you've got to mean those words. I think a lot of people go through the motions and they say those words, but do they mean them? Some people have asked me, like, if you didn't cry, did you not get it? Or if you cried, does that mean you got it? No, not necessarily. Everybody's going to deal with that different. Some people will cry, some people won't. That really doesn't matter. You've just got to mean what you actually say. You've got to be willing to actually change. And you've got to want to follow him, want to seek after him with everything in you. And you're willing to put down this life. You're willing to give your life for him. That's big. That's serious, and that's big. I think on the day that you do decide to do that, and you do decide to follow him like that, it's a slow change. You won't just change overnight. You won't be this different person. I've heard people say that they changed immediately, and maybe they did, but I think for most it's a slow change. You slowly start studying the Word more because you want to. You're hungry. You're seeking after him. You're seeking after more. You're seeking after knowledge. And once you come to that point and you start seeking after it, then the Bible and he will change you. You will want to do better. You will want to live by the Word. You will want to seek after him more. You will be hungry for the Word. You will have so many questions that you want answered that you will start seeking. He says, seek and you will find. When you get to that point and you see yourself changing, you see yourself wanting more, wanting to know him more and to get closer to him and pray more, that's when you know you got it. I mean, I do think for a lot of people, um, in order to actually mean that and be willing to change and to lay down whatever sin you have, because we've all got sin in our life and we'll still have sin in our life even after we get saved. But when you are saved, when you are following after Him, when you do when you do sin, then that's when you'll ask for forgiveness immediately. You'll get a check. You'll know that that was wrong. What I did was wrong today, or what I said was wrong, or that was a lie, I shouldn't have said that. You'll immediately get that small voice telling you, yeah, that wasn't right. That's when you know that you're on the right track. That's when you know that you're following after Him. I think for a lot of people, like when they get to that point, they will cry. They will be broken. They've hit the end. You know, for most people, when they get saved, they're in a troubled place in their life. They've hit that wall that they want to change. Like, I can't do anything else without you, Jesus. You know, that's when they go to the altar. Or for me, it was my bedroom. It wasn't the altar. You know, I was broken. I had a health condition that I thought, you know, might be something really bad. So I thought this might be the end for me. And that's when I got right. I was scared. I was broken. I was not living right. I wanted more. I was looking for more all the time, and that's what was causing me to live the life that I was living. I was seeking after more. So when I did get saved in my bedroom, even when I went to the doctor that next day to find out, you know, is everything okay, I'd reached a point of, I'm a winner either way. Either I'm going to be healthy, everything's going to be fine, or, you know, I'm going to get bad news about my health, but I'm going to get to see Him faster. And I had no fear. When you get to the point where you're seeking after Him like that, you have no fear of death. And that is one of the number one fears of the human race. I think they always say that speaking in front of a crowd is number one, but number two is death. If you're seeking after Him and you're living right, and you're studying His Word and you're praying, that's when the fear of death starts leaving, because you know there's something more out there than just this earth. I mean, this earth is made too great for there not to be something more. There has to be something more. Like, we're made too perfect. Like, our bodies are made too perfect. Like, this world is made too perfect. The trees and the bees and the animals and just everything. If you look around, like, we're made too perfect. Like, and for anybody to take that chance to not get saved, it blows my mind that you would live with that fear of dying, and live with that fear of, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if you think that there's no God, then what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? And on that day that you're fixing to die, that last moment, you know, some people, death comes sudden, but for others, you know, it might drag out for hours, and you know that time is coming, and that has to be fearful. But to know that you're going to heaven, to know that you're going to another place that's even greater than this place, that would be peaceful. Peaceful in those last hours. Peaceful knowing that I'm leaving this world to go to this place to see Jesus. Like, but if you don't have that That has to be so fearful, those last few hours. And why would you take that chance? Why would you take that chance? Like, if I live my life living for Him, and I was to die and find out, hey, I was wrong, there wasn't a God, I'm not going to lose anything. But for those to live their life like they want, and to die and to find out that there was a God, to find out there is a hell, like, why would you take that chance? I don't understand that. I don't understand. That's a big gamble. It's a huge gamble. And it's a very scary gamble. Because this ain't just, I'll go to prison for a few years. This is eternity. This is forever. I know our minds can't comprehend that we will live forever one day. I think it's instilled in us to think that we do live forever when we're young. We feel like, we're never going to die, that time is way off. So I think God has actually instilled that into us, because with Adam and Eve, they were supposed to live forever in the garden. So I think some of that is in us. But I don't understand why anybody would take that chance. And it's the greatest thing when you get saved and you start seeking after Him, and you start studying the Word, and He starts answering questions in the Word, and you start learning more and more about how everything ties in. Like, everything ties together. The Old Testament and the New Testament all ties together. Like, it all interlinks. Everything has a meaning that is mind-blowing. Like, the more you study, the more you believe, the more you want more, the more questions you have, but the more answers you get, the more you study. Seek after Him. Just get in the Word, pray. And when you get to that point where you're praying and you got through, it's the greatest feeling ever. I'm not a preacher. I'm not this great Bible genius. I'm not. I'm just an average Joe. Just an average Joe. I felt that I needed to put this on my channel for someone. Like, if someone just hears this, hopefully it'll change your life. Hopefully you need this. Hopefully you'll just seek after Him. Start reading the Scripture. Start with Matthew. Read through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read through the 4 Gospels. It'll start changing you. And if you're going through something in your life, there's nothing better than to get Him involved in it. He will help. Even if He doesn't heal, which He can. But even if He doesn't, the peace that it brings you in prayer and seeking after Him, He will help you through it. I promise. So please, I beg of you, go looking for Him. He will make this life better, but most of all, He will make the next life better. Don't take that chance. Because if you're wrong, this is eternity. This is eternity that we're talking about. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I was not trying to offend anybody. regardless of your beliefs or your religion. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to start any arguments. Any arguments I will not respond to in the comments. If you need prayer, please leave them in the comments below. I will pray for you. I promise I will pray for you. If you have any questions about this or questions about getting saved, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. But again, this is not going to be a discussion on whether there's a God or whether there's not. I don't want to argue. I don't want to get into any debate over this. I've already studied the other religions. I felt, when I got into the Word and got to studying the Word, that I needed to study that for myself to make sure that this is, how I feel is the right way. So I hope this helps someone. I thank you very, very much for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe.